Hello there. It's February 2nd. Welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. Well, we're still making progress here. We started doing headers on this over the weekend and discovered that Scott had ordered a bunch of J-bends, mandrel bent. Here's this kind of stuff. Mandrel bent J-bends to use to make the headers. I think he had ordered 5 or 6, or I don't know, a combination of 2-inch centers, radius centers, and 3-inch radius centers to make the headers out of. He made these 2 fixtures here to determine the angles when you want to cut the elbows, the pipes. You stick the pipe there, the radius goes with. That's the 2-inch radius there, the narrow one, and that's the 3-inch radius there. You see with all the degree lines coming off of that, the center point. So he uses that once he determines the angle he needs. He uses that to make the cuts, to mark and make the cuts. But anyway, we started with the headers. We had one pipe all done from some leftover material that we had from another job. I think when we made my exhaust, if I remember right. I'm not sure where that material came from. Where it was originally purchased for. You see, there's the collector. He's got the collector welded in place, temporarily tacked in place. So he's working between the header flange on the block and the collector. So it's solid. So it's not going to move around once he knows where he's headed with the pipes. When he gets each one to fit the collector, that one's done. So anyway, we got one of them all made. The first one we got all made with the old existing materials. And see, here's a bunch of materials right here. Because now he got some new stuff. Anyway, you'll understand what I just said. He got some new stuff. We made one pipe. Long story here. Made one pipe, and he reached for the stuff that he had just bought and marked an angle on a bend and put it in the stand vise there and went to cut it, and the saw blade went right through it. It's like, wait a minute. There's a difference here. What he had ordered was 16 gauge pipe, and what they sent him was 18 gauge pipe. So all the new pieces that he had were the wrong size. They were undersized. Not to mention that we discovered when we started using that stuff that it's mandrel bent all right, but it was corroded on the inside, like they filled it with water or something to keep it from collapsing while they were bending it. I don't know, whatever reason it's steel and it was corroded on the inside. And second, it wasn't round. You'd cut the 2 pieces and put them together, and they didn't match. One was a little bigger than the other. It was had a seam along its length that was a big bulge. So, like I said, it wasn't round. You go to put it in the header flange, and you'd have to file it because it wouldn't fit. It wasn't round. And it's like. So, like I said, all that together, he decided. He called the vendor that he bought it from. Told him it was the wrong size, and decided not to replace it with from the same vendor with that same material. He went to a different supplier that cost almost twice as much, and the new stuff is here. Like I say, I just showed you. The new stuff is here, and it's way better. So I guess, the original stuff was like $18 for a J-bend. The new stuff, he said, was almost twice that much. So none of it's cheap. It wasn't like it was dirt cheap or you shouldn't have been surprised. It was less, but it wasn't, it wasn't for nothing by any means. Anyway, he's coming back today now that he's got more materials. I'm going to continue making header pipes. One more thing. That's a starter motor. That came with all these parts. I put 12 volts to it and it ran, but it smoked immediately. Not that it was shorting out or anything. It had a loose connection inside of it. And there's the loose connection. You see, that's a brush holder. And that one had, the rivet was gone. That holds that. And I think it's, you see, it's supposed to be insulated from the housing, and part of the insulation's missing too. So the rivet was gone and the insulation was missing. So if it was touching there, it wasn't supposed to, and it would what it was doing was arcing. It was making a connection there and making smoke because it was shorting out. You see the piece is broken. Where the rivet was, the piece is broken. That's probably why it came loose. So what I'm going to try and do, I can't buy one of those pieces. In fact, if you go to buy a kit for these things, it's, I don't know, $100 or something like that. And I'm trying to do this on the cheap, obviously. This is just a fun thing. It's not going to go in a car. So what I'm going to attempt to do is make one of those brush holders out of a piece of, I've got a variety of materials around here. I don't have, that looks like it might be copper, probably an alloy, because it's pretty hard. But I'm going to try and making that piece out of some stainless that I have. I've got some stuff, quite a bit of different kinds of materials around here. I know I got some stainless that's at least that weight, that thickness. I'm going to see if I can cobble up something that I can use to replace that out of a piece of stainless. So, wish me luck. Some of his header tubes. This is the third pipe. Which would this be? This is actually number 1 cylinder. You can see it's got 2 of them built here. They're all tacked. They're just tacked right now. Going into the header. Coming out. These 2 are stacked. Because you see going in the header, they're one over the top of the other. And this would be cylinders 5 and 7. See them up there? Like I said, it's hard. There's so much shit going on here. It's really hard to photograph this. Anyway, the third one. This would be cylinder 3. No, this is 1. This is the front cylinder.
1, 2. I'm not sure on an LS how they work.
Oh, I'm assuming it's the same as a small block.
So, yeah, I guess it would be 1, huh?
1, 3, 5, 7. If it's the same as a small block. Let's see if we can.
There you go.
Yeah, like I said, there's just so much stuff here. It's impossible to film. Okay, so here's how it looks with that, the one he just tacked, installed. Let's see if I can get a little further away here. So there's 3 out of 4. There's going to be that one you see on the, here, on the right. There's going to be another one right above that one. Same shape, but stacked it immediately above it. Yeah, and that's what happens. The space, that's the tight space where he had it. The wheels turned all the way to the left. Yeah. Is the tight. That's where it's tight right there. See the steering arm? and there's like a 1/4 of an inch of clearance. Don't have to beat the shit out of the pipes.
Yay.
Anyway, yeah, so it's starting to look good. We were all concerned about building this header because there isn't much space up there.
Car plumbing.
Right. Anyway, here we go. We're finding this works pretty good for doing, how should I say this? Developing the angles you need and where the centers are and all that good stuff. Use the laser and draw it out on the floor. So, yeah, like I said, it gives you really accurate dimensions for where the bends will have to be and how many degrees they are and where the centers are, all that good stuff. It's plumbing. It's plumbing layout, essentially. The car is the building.
Just keeps paying off.
Yeah. Meantime, I'm trying to take this antique stuff apart. This is a 1931 generator. Model A generator. And this is a 1931 block, engine block. That's been de-rusted and then sulfated so that it doesn't flash, re-rust. I'm gonna build a fixture so that I can attach it to an engine stand. That's the next step, and then I'm gonna start doing some cleaning, like clean the lifter bores and clean the bores in the cast iron where the valve guides go, all that. Make sure it's all nice and clean. Well, we're closing in on the driver's side header, doing the last pipe right now. I think he just made the last bend for. He's got to add a straight section, but I think he's got the last bend. There it is. See the short piece up there? It's heading over towards the collector, and that's the 4th one.
I gotta cut it to length still.
Oh, I see. To put the last angle on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're close. Well, there it is. There it is. That's the driver's side header. All fabricated and tacked. It's not attached to the collector yet. The pipes are all in there, but it's not attached at the collector, and it's not attached at the top at the flange, but there it is. It's fabricated and ready to get done, made permanent. Yay! Okay, well, welcome back to Blue Heinz Garage. And there's Time Machine up there, taking a break. Unlike the rest of us, it's 9:15 Wednesday evening. And I have spent most of the day cleaning that wall to where you see it right now. Redid the shelves. The bottom shelf you see there was not there earlier. There was on the left side, excuse me, the other left side. On the right side where you see the paint, there was 3 shelves below that. They went way down the wall. And we're changing things around. We're going to try and make things more organized here. And where you see that piece on the wall there, I'm going to put, that's temporary to install a bin on above it so that it comes even with the top of the bolt bin. The one that I'm installing comes even with the top of the bolt bin. What I'm doing is rearranging this side over here. Those bins, instead of being there under the window, are going to be over there between the bolt bin and that receptacle. It's like it was, I couldn't have laid it out more. There's like a 1/4 of an inch between the edge of the receptacle and the bin when I put the 2 bins there. So anyway, we're going to do that so that it creates more space over here for tools and workspace. Changing that, I'm going to put both bins over on the wall. The little bin and that little bin are going to be installed, hope I'm not moving too fast here, are going to be installed above the bolt bin. So, and this bin, you see right here, is going to go on the left side of the receptacle. So essentially all the bins are going to be on that wall. And this space that you see here where the bins are, I'm going to put a table that's made out of this stuff. I have more of these table pieces and a variety of legs, shorter legs. So I'm going to use a couple of the short legs and create a table here. And I'm going to take the drill press from over there and I'm going to put it here on this table. Right here on this side, the side that we're on, this side of the lift post. I'm going to put the table here, which is not going to stick out into where I'm standing a whole lot further than the bin does right now. It's almost equal, believe it or not. You can see here, there's a fair amount of space there. So I'm going to put the drill press on that table. I think the tables are the same size as these shelves right here, 3 feet across. And that's enough to put the drill press, and then I'm going to, I've got the grinder in the other garage with the wire wheel on it. That's going to come out and share the table with the drill press. So I don't have to keep going. Right now, every time I use the wire wheel, I got to walk over to the other garage. And doing this Model A motor, a lot of the stuff I'm using here is from sitting around for 60 years, has this light layer of corrosion on it, and it comes really clean when you hit it with the wire wheel. All the lifters, the valve guides, all need to be done on the wire wheel. So I'm going to be doing that over here. And this table arrangement right here, this shelf arrangement right here, this is all the, pretty much all the stuff that I have for the Model A pickup over there in the other garage. I believe I'm going to put this all up on the loft until I'm ready to be using it, because right now it's just taking space here. It's stored here. I can store it up on the loft and have this wall space here for, you know, what use, everyday use. It's kind of silly, you know, killing this space just to store these parts. And you can see it's more than Model A parts. It's all kinds of things at this point. Mostly Model A parts, but other stuff too. Well, anyway, the Model A stuff's going to go up on the loft probably. And this shelf's going to go away. I've got a cabinet in the other garage I think I'm going to bring here and just use for tools alongside that I may not even do that right now. All my well, I'm having a hard time with tools. Not to make this too long and boring, but having a hard time with tools in my old age. I can't remember where I put stuff, and I have stuff in here, but it's everywhere. And one of the things I'm trying to do here is kind of consolidate, have all the tools more centralized, so when I'm looking for stuff, I don't have to try and remember where did I put it. It's all, you know, the idea is to have it all in one place. So I might bring that other cabinet over here and put all of my tools in that cabinet and in that cabinet, so I'm not walking all over the place hunting for tools. See, I got them up there, like machine tools and stuff up there. You know, mechanic tools in there. Sheet metal, electrical soldering tool, whatever, over there. Like I said, I wander around. Okay, where did I put this stuff? I put it where it seemed like it was going to be logical when I put it there, but now I can't find it. So anyway, what I'm doing here tonight is removing that one bin you see there with all the shell with all the bins going out of it. I'm trying to get that on the other wall. Tomorrow I'll do that one. And you know, there's all the contents that were in that bin right there on that cart, so I can roll it over there when I get the bin installed. Anyway, bye. Hello there. Well, welcome back to Blue Hind's Garage. As you can see, it is about 7:20 p.m. Wednesday the 24th of March. And here's what's been going on. I don't remember what's the last thing I filmed, but I've been in the process of doing a bit of a reorg here in the garage. Not a total, but a fair amount of stuff. You recall over here, there were two shelf units like this one, side by side. This one that you see right now looked like the other one before. This one's now, the new one is a bit shallower. The old ones were 24 by 36, like that. And the current one here is 20 by 36. And I'm using this one. I'm going to load this up with tools so that my tools are more condensed in one place instead of spread all over the garage. What used to be here was all the Model A stuff, all the stuff for the 29 Model A pickup, which on more thought, it seems like a terrible waste of space for storage. I can use it more appropriately for workspace, like you say, to access my tools. The Model A parts now are up on top of the loft here. Which is much better use of the space than floor space here, I think. I don't know. And the other thing that happened was over here, let me get a little further back here. Over here, where the bins used to reside, underneath the window there, those all got relocated over to there. The gray bins you see there used to be under that window. And the colored ones here, the yellow, blue, and gray ones, were on a floor stand right now, where you now see the grinder on the other little shelf. That's more of those 20 by 36 inch shelves. In this location, instead of the bins, what I'm going to do here, this is the grinder is going to stay there, but it's going to share that shelf with a new drill press. Today's Thursday, so Tuesday night, I ordered a new drill press. The drill press I've been using is okay for DIY work, you might say. And it never was a quality piece. I traded some work for that drill press a long time ago, and it was Japanese made at the time, which was the equal to China made at this point, you know, where we're at right now. So like I said, it never was a quality piece. The chuck has a lot of run out, so the bit doesn't even turn in a nice straight pattern. Anyway, I ordered a new one. I'm going to put it on the cart here, on the shelf here. A little too close here. I'm going to put it on the shelf here and share it with the grinder. So mostly the wire wheel. I don't even have a stone on that grinder because I don't use it that way. I use it almost entirely for wire wheel work. And the other thing I wanted to show you. So anyway, that's what we've done here with the bins. This was Scott's idea. Let's put all the bins in one place. So whenever you go into a bin, and they're all full of hardware. The yellow bins are bolts. The gray bins are bolts as well, different kinds, and other miscellaneous things. The yellow, blue, and gray ones are screws, you know, like sheetrock grabbers, that kind of stuff. The top shelf, which with more of those gray bins, is a variety of different kinds of grease and lubricants, odds and ends. And then the shelves above now, paint, oil, other kinds of stuff. Battery chargers you see are up there. So like I said, everything, I'm trying to get it more organized because in my old age, memory isn't what it used to be. So, you know, what was happening on a constant basis is I'd bring something in here, wouldn't know where to put it. I'd put it where I think I was going to go look the next time I was in need of it. And when I was in need of it, I'd walk around for an hour trying to figure out where in the hell did I put it. So I'm trying to eliminate all of that. So like I said, I put this stuff here, trying to organize it. I got all the bins pretty much here. Even the little ones with the electrical terminals and other miscellaneous smaller hardware. You notice I cleaned this out too. A lot of that stuff that was in there went up here on the shelves. A lot of it, like the battery chargers and that stuff, used to be in there. The ladders even got moved because where I had the ladders before was where you see the brooms now, and what they did was effectively block you from getting into those shelves. So what I did is I did a swap between the brooms and the ladders, and as well as the picture and the sign up there, swapped those two. So it made better use of that space too. So anyway, so much for the reorg on the garage. In the meantime, while I've been doing that, Scott's been finishing the headers. So he came today and he got the last of these tubes in. So again, this is all tacked together, and they're not attached yet to the collector, because what he's got to do before he does that, you notice these aren't welded. They're just tacked. So he's got them all fabricated and tacked together. Here's this side. This side was much harder because there's way more stuff in the way. The steering is in the way over here. Not only the box, but the arm. When you turn the wheels, this arm swings, so it takes up a lot of space. This side was a lot harder than the other side. So the two sides are done now. There you go. The two sides are done now. They just have to be finish welded and then assembled into the collectors. And then obviously the exhaust built behind that. So you can see the exhaust, it's up nice and high. See, it's above the cross member tube there. And it will run back through the big holes there. And then back over the rear end and out under the bumper, I believe, under the back bumper. So, and you noticed on this car, we did the same thing with the e-brake. Got the electric e-brake set up so the cables for the e-brake don't interfere with anything between the frame rails. They go out here, nice and straight, and out to the wheel. Same thing on both sides. Nothing crosses the chassis with the e-brake. The only thing that crosses the chassis with the e-brake is the electrical conductor that ties the two servos together. So anyway, there's your headers. And the clutch linkage is up in there too, see? So it all clears. A bit of a chore, and I'm sure Scott's experience as a plumber running pipe helped here. You know, the pipe you run as a plumber is not nearly this because you use, 90s, 45s. All the fittings basically are a given. This here you can pick any degree you want with the mandrel bends. So anyway, so much for that. In the meantime, the Model A motor is sitting over there. I haven't worked on that at all this week. So it didn't change anything. It's waiting. But I have been getting parts. I've got a box of goodies down here that I've ordered for it. And water pumps here, ready to, we added onto the, welded some material onto the impeller. I bought a new one, but it fit the shaft kind of loose and it wasn't drilled for a pin. So we resorted to fixing the old one. So now I got to paint that. I got to take it apart, paint that, and that'll be ready. You notice here is the starter motor and generator. Starter motor is rebuilt essentially. Generator is has no brushes. It's only going to be used as a belt tensioner. So it has the armature in it, but only to create a shaft, to run the pulley and tighten the belt to run the fan on the water pump. So anyway, that's the latest. I will talk to you later. Please like and comment if you don't mind, and we'd love to hear what you have to say. Anyway, more to come. Thanks for watching. Bye.